right now in lockdown land are, of course, pixelating video calls, slightly awkward, out of sync audio, and quizzes. So well done, BT Sport, for putting all three of those together into the beautiful quiz. It's back for a second week, and just like last week, you can join us and compete alongside us by entering your team name. Go to btsport.com/thebeautifulquiz, and there you can follow your progress on our leaderboards and compete with other quizzes right across the country and indeed beyond the country, in other countries too, because have a look at this. Our special guests competing alongside us this evening are Robin van Persie and Rafa Honigstein. 144 Premier League goals between them. Welcome, guys. Delighted to see you.
Hello. Good evening.
Hello. Hi, Robin.
Hello.
Hi. You're in Amsterdam?
Yes, I am. Yeah, with a good friend of mine.
Oh, good. Who's that?
Yeah, most English people would love to see him. Here he is.
Ah, that's Maradona. Right. Okay. Well, he might even turn up in a question later on, Robin. We'll see. In the meantime, nice that you got some dry clothing, because we saw earlier while filming a promo for this, you fell in a lake.
Well, I didn't fall. My son pushed me in the lake, so it was a great idea, because I was shooting my promo for now, and then my son had this great idea to push me in the lake. So I was like, yeah, why not?
Right,
let's do it.
Just takes the slightest of touches with you guys, though, doesn't it, for you to go tumbling over?
That's true.
Rafa, yeah, okay, Rafa. Big week of German sport. Dortmund and Bayern are in action on Saturday, and then they face each other in Der Klassiker next Tuesday. And tonight it's you against Robin van Persie, Germany v Holland. The hopes of a nation resting with you.
It's a real grudge match, James. Memories of 1988, 1990, and now 2020 for the third time. It's going to be very, very tough.
Well, I hope so. I hope we've got your names registered and everything. We'll be able to follow your progress against each other and everybody else on the leaderboards. Robin, can I just stress, if you do feature in an answer, do remember to spell your name right. I know it sounds obvious, but we had a lot of problems with Chris Sutton last week on this score. So Robin van Persie, you'll know it by now. Anyway, there's still time for everyone to register to play by heading to btsport.com/thebeautifulquiz. And while you do that, let's meet the final member of our lineup tonight. He is our statsman, Duncan Alexander, the man who makes the questions and answers them too. Duncan, how are you?
Hello, James. I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well. Have you prepared something very special for us this week?
6 more delicious, delightful rounds for everyone. Looking forward to it. We learnt last week, didn't we, that Robin van Persie is the top scoring player in Premier League history with his wrong foot. But for me, tonight is very much about getting things right with your hands. So let's see how he does.
Yeah, that's interesting. All right, so we've got a stat man and Robin. So I think we're all set. We've got, as you mentioned, 6 rounds of footballing trivia. Each round is, of course, against the clock. Once you've submitted an answer on the app, then I'm afraid you can't change it, but you know what? It's all for fun, so it probably doesn't matter all that much. If you're all set, then let's get going with round 1, which is all about the World Cup. It is multiple choice, and you will have 15 seconds per question. Round 1 starts here. Question 1. Which South American country won the first ever edition of the Men's FIFA World Cup? Argentina, Brazil, or Uruguay? You've seen United Passions, the FIFA movie, you'll know all about that one. Which South American country won the first ever Men's FIFA World Cup? Question 2 then. South Africa was the first African nation to host the World Cup, but in which year did it do so? Was it 2006? Was it 2010? Or was it 2014? South Africa, that historic World Cup, the first African nation to host this great tournament. But which year did that happen in? Always like to get a question about Oleg Salenko. Question 3, he is the only player to score 5 goals in a World Cup match. Which nation did he represent? Was it Russia, Ukraine, or Yugoslavia? Oleg Salenko, 5 goals in a World Cup match. Okay, question 4 then. Who is the all-time highest goal scorer in World Cup history? Is it Miroslav Klose? Is it Gerd Muller? Or is it Ronaldo? The Brazilian one, I think. I mean, in this as an option. I'm not saying that's the answer, but closer, Gerd Muller or Ronaldo? Super. Question 5. Which player has been penalised for handball more than any other player in the World Cup? Is it Gary Lineker? Is it Robin's friend there, Diego Maradona? Or is it Luis Suarez? 3 world famous footballers. One of them has been penalised for handball more than any other player. Question 6. Which was the first nation to host the World Cup twice? Brazil, France, or Mexico? A repeat venue for the World Cup. Which was the first nation to have that honour? On to question 7 then. The 1994 World Cup final between Brazil and Italy was the first to be decided on penalties. Who missed the crucial spot kick in the shootout? Was it Roberto Baggio? Was it Dino Baggio? Or was it Roberto Donadoni? Very, very famous penalty kick this in Pasadena. Question 8. Who is the only player to have scored a World Cup goal in each of their teens, their 20s and their 30s? Phenomenal record. Does it belong to Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi or Pelé? Scoring in the World Cup in their teens, their 20s and their 30s. Question 9. Harry Kane won the Golden Boot at the 2018 World Cup with 6 goals. Who was the only other England player to score more than once at the tournament? Dele Alli, Harry Maguire or John Stones? The only other Englishman, apart from Harry Kane, to score more than once at the tournament. And question 10. Robin van Persie has made 17 World Cup appearances, the joint most of any player for the Netherlands, alongside which other player? Is it Dennis Bergkamp? Is it Arjen Robben? Or is it Wesley Sneijder? Alrighty. How bad was my pronunciation of Dutch names there, Robin?
Very good.
Oi, fantastic. Let's see now if your answers were very good, because Duncan's standing by to bring us all the correct responses. Okay, so round 1, the World Cup. Question 1, Duncan. Which South American country won the first ever edition of the men's FIFA World Cup?
Well, a nice easy one to start. This was Uruguay.
Okay, and the Maracanazo. Question 2. South Africa was the first African nation to host the World Cup. What year did that happen in?
That was 2010. More importantly, Howard Webb got to referee the final, but, information.
And he did so very, very well. Question 3. Oleg Selenko is the only player to score 5 goals in a World Cup match. Who did he play for?
Played for Russia, but he never played for Russia again after this game, strangely. But, yeah.
That's remarkable. Oleg Selenko.
In
relation to Oleg Sakimbo or Oleg Selem. Question 4. Who is the all-time highest goal scorer in World Cup history?
That would be Mr. Miroslav Klose.
Exceptional. Question 5. Which player has been penalised for handball more than any other player in the World Cup?
Well, it's that man right... Oh, you're going to read the answers?
Well, I was just going to see. Robin, what did you put for this?
Suarez.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did, yeah. Because the way he plays, he plays with all parts of his body. Yeah, I went for him.
Right. No, but you know what? The answer was on the wall right behind you. It's Diego Maradona. Been penalised for handball more than any other player, and yet not quite enough, many people would say. Remarkable. All right, then. Let's move on to question 6. Which was the first nation to host the World Cup twice, Duncan?
That was Mexico.
Mexico, of course.
I went for France.
See if I did on... I'm sorry?
I went for France there.
Oh, Robin, I'm sorry. Okay. Rafa, what did you get on question 7? The World Cup final in 1994. Who missed the crucial spot kick between Italy and Brazil?
The divine ponytail, Roberto Baggio.
Indeed so. All right, then. Question 8. Yep. Who is the only player to have scored a World Cup goal in each of their teens, 20s and 30s? Robin, did you get this one? Oh, sorry, Duncan, you could tell us. Go on.
No, it's Lionel Messi. He's still got fewer knockout goals than Matthew Upson at World Cups, but he has scored in his teens, his 20s, and his 30s. So fair play.
Okay, can you break that down for us? How many World Cup goals has Matthew Upson got?
In knockouts, he's got 1 and Messi's got 0. So as it stands, 1 is higher, but we'll see.
All right. Question 9 then. Harry Kane won the Golden Boot at the 2018. He scored 6 goals. Who was the only other English player to score more than once at the tournament?
That was John Stones.
2 headers, right?
And question 10. Did you get that, Robin?
I think so, yeah. John Stones. I think he scored 2 headers in
John
one game.
Well, there you are. Let's see how you fared on question 10. You made 17 World Cup appearances. Which other Netherlands player has made that many?
I went for Wesley Sneijder.
You went right. Good one, Robin. Okay, Duncan, now technology supposedly at this point can furnish us with not only the leaderboards kind of worldwide, but also how our guests are doing head to head. What have you got for us so far?
Well, we've got a lot of people that got 10 out of 10 on that round. A nice gentle start.
Right.
Special
Are
shout
either of them
out
with
to,
us this evening?
I can't see that information. I think it was supposed to come from screen, but we'll get to that.
There you go. No. Ooh.
But quick shout out to Sloth Sharon, who's the quickest player to get 10 out of 10. So a decent start for him.
Excellent. Well done. Yeah. Well done, you guys. 6 out of 10 is a decent start. Let's move on then to round 2, which is all about the 2000s. 10 questions. Each one is about the decade from 2000 to 2010. Once again, you'll have 15 seconds to answer each one. And here comes round 2. Okay, question 1. Which team won most Premier League titles in the 2000s? Was it Arsenal? Was it Chelsea? Or was it Manchester United? Most Premier League titles in the 2000s. Question 2. Who was the top scorer in the Premier League between 2000 and 2009? Was it Thierry Henry? Was it Michael Owen? Or was it Wayne Rooney? Top scoring player in the Premier League between 2000 and 2009. Question 3. Which of those 3 clubs, Burnley, Nottingham Forest and Watford, did not play in the Premier League in the 2000s? On to question 4. Which team had the biggest win in the Premier League in the 2000s? Was it Liverpool? Was it Manchester City? Or was it Tottenham Hotspur? Looking for the team that had the biggest win in the Premier League in the 2000s. On to question 5. Which team were relegated from the Premier League 3 times in the 2000s? It's an impressive record. Does it belong to Birmingham City, to Sunderland, or to West Bromwich Albion? 3 relegations in the 2000s. All right, next up, scratch your chin to this one. Who was the first player born in the 2000s to play in the Premier League? Angel Gomez, Phil Foden, or Ryan Sessegnon? When you're done with that, we'll move on to question 7. How many times did Liverpool finish in the Premier League? How many times did Liverpool finish how many times did Liverpool finish second in the Premier League in the 2000s? Was it twice, 3 times, or 4? How many times did Liverpool finish runners-up in the Premier League in the 2000s? Question 8 then. Which of these 3 players, Andy Cole, Didier Drogba and Cristiano Ronaldo, did not win the Premier League Golden Boot in the 2000s? Which one did not win the Premier League Golden Boot in the 2000s? Question 9. Relentless pace to these questions. Who were the only team to beat Chelsea in the Premier League in their 2004-05 title-winning season? Crystal Palace, Manchester City, or Newcastle United? Only one team beat Chelsea on their way to that title. Who was it? And question 10, the final one for this round. How many times was the League and FA Cup double achieved in the 2000s? Was it once, 3 times, or a whopping 5? Excellent. Right. Well, you guys, there was all sorts of focus, concentration. There was sweat in that round.
I'm not convinced.
Rafa, how are you feeling?
I just saw my score. I'm not
Rob.
feeling very, very, very good at all.
Oh, really? Oh, I'm sorry about that. But equally, Robin isn't either. Let's see how badly it went. First of all, which team won the most Premier League titles in the 2000s? Arsenal, Chelsea, or Man United? Surely we got this.
That was Manchester United.
Right. Okay. Did you get that?
Yeah. No, I went for Chelsea.
Chelsea, interesting. Question 2 then. Who was the top scorer in the Premier League between 2000 and 2009? Robin, what did you put for this?
I went for Henry.
For Thierry Henry, yeah, absolutely. And you're spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rafa, good. Okay.
I think you got 4 there, right?
I'm sorry, what, Robin?
I think he got 4 in total.
4 times he was top scorer? Right. Duncan,
so, yeah.
Can you confirm for Robin?
In Golden Boot stakes, yeah, this is overall goals, but he wins that as well. So, yeah, hats off.
All right. No extra points, though, Robin, for knowing that. Which of these clubs did not play in the Premier League in the 2000s? Was it Burnley, Nottingham Forest, or Watford, Duncan?
It was Nottingham Forest. They're still the last English team to retain the European Cup, but haven't played in the Premier League for quite a while.
Seem poised to return, in the current season, but etc. and so on. All right, which team had the biggest win in the Premier League in the 2000s? Was it Liverpool, Manchester City, or Tottenham?
This was Tottenham's 9-1 win against Wigan. Tottenham.
All right. Which team was relegated from the Premier League 3 times in the 2000s? Birmingham, Sunderland, or West Bromwich Albion?
This was West Bromwich Albion, masters of relegation and bouncing back, to be fair.
Certainly are. Okay, how are you guys doing? A quick check on Robin and Rafa.
I went for Sunderland.
Not so great.
Not great.
All right, then. Who was the first player?
Let's ask just on a point of order. 2000
yes.
is just the noughties, yeah? Not the whole 20 years.
Yes, the first decade of it.
10,
yes.
yeah, the first decade. Okay,
Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah, but
so who was the first player? Yes.
Because I'm a diesel, I'm a slow starter. I get better the longer we play.
Right. Well, okay, good. I'm delighted to hear that, Robin. Rafa, I'm not sure what kind of engine you'd categorize yourself as, but I guess we'll discover that as the rounds continue.
I'm electric.
We got up to question 6.
Low emissions.
Who was the first player? Right. Question 6. Who was the first player born in the 2000s to play in the Premier League? And it was?
This was Angel Gomez against Palace United in 2017.
Right. Okay. There's all sorts of noises of discussion. Yeah, but he was born in the 2000s.
Oh, see, yeah.
No, Rafa. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Question 7. How many times did Liverpool finish in the finish runners-up in the Premier League in the 2000s?
Twice, 2002 and 2009.
Excellent. Okay, let's ask Robin this one. Which of these players did not win the Premier League Golden Boot in the 2000s? What do you think, Robin? Was it Andy or Didier Drogba or Cristiano Ronaldo not winning the Premier League Golden Boot?
I went last minute for Drogba, but I think it's Andy Cole.
Well, you're right, but you were wrong with your answer, unfortunately.
I know.
Interesting.
Do I get a half a point or something?
I'm sure we can sort you out with something.
Definitely not.
Okay. Question 9. Who were the only team to beat Chelsea in the Premier League in their 2004-05 title-winning season? Who was it, Duncan?
Masterminded by Kevin Keegan. It was Manchester City.
Brilliant. And Rafa, you can have a bang on this one. How many times was the League and FA Cup double achieved in the 2000s, that decade that started in the year 2000? How many times?
I think 3 times.
You think wrong, because it was only once. It's a very special achievement. Can't have people banging them out every year. Yeah. All right, then. Hey, can you tot up the scores for us, Duncan? It was level after round one between these two. We'll see very shortly on the screen how they stand now. But in terms of all the people who had perfect scores, how many of them still are without a blemish? Good Lord.
Well, sadly, no. Yeah.
So
well, we're looking at a 9-9 here, and we're looking at also two leaders overall in the game on 18-18. So you guys are doing half as well as the. I mean, if you combine Robin and Rafa, you get the leader. Sam
I see.
And Return the Jedi.
Yeah.
I was momentarily.
I'll take your legs, Robin.
All right. Round 3. I'm ready.
Right. So I got very excited because I thought 9 was your score for the round, but I now understand that's your cumulative score. It's still impressive. But anyway, let's see. Round 3. I'm not sure what that was, Rafa. I'm going to move on anyway. Round 3. Okay. This time, what we're looking for is the name of the player that the clue I'm going to give you describes. Only 5 questions this time. You'll have 45 seconds, though, on the clock to answer each one of them. But you do have to type your answer in. So be careful with that spelling. Okay, round 3 starts now.
All right.
Okay, question 1. I made my professional debut at QPR, while Peter Schmeichel was in goal for my team in my Premier League debut in 2002. I played under Harry Redknapp at 3 different clubs and have scored more headers than any other player in Premier League history. So, made my professional debut at QPR. Peter Schmeichel was in goal on my side in my Premier League debut in 2002. I played under Harry Redknapp at 3 different clubs, and, this is crucial, I've scored more headers than any other player in Premier League history. I think this might have been mentioned in last week's beautiful quiz. On to question 2 then. Who's this? I made my Premier League debut as a 17-year-old on the same day that Man United won the Premier League title. A 6-time Premier League winner myself, I've also captained a winning side in the Champions League final and been relegated from the Premier League. But who am I? So, those details again. Made my Premier League debut at the age of 17 on the same day that Man United won the Premier League. I myself have won the Premier League 6 times, and I've captained a winning team in a Champions League final, and I've also been relegated from the Premier League, just to complete the set. Tricky ones these. On to question 3 then. This missing person has played for 3 different London clubs in their career and has won the league and FA Cup double twice. My last manager was a former teammate, and I played more times for England without scoring than any other outfield player. Who is that? I played for 3 different London clubs in my career. That surely narrows it down a bit. I've won the league and FA Cup double twice. My last manager was a former teammate, and I played more times for England without scoring than any other outfield player. Fascinated to find out who this is. Very tricky. Question 4 then. I won the Premier League as a teenager, and I played an FA Cup final in 3 different decades. My career has spanned 12 clubs across 7 different countries, including 4 of the current Big 6 Premier League clubs. Who would that be? I won the Premier League as a teenager. I played in an FA Cup final in 3 different decades. My career has spanned 12 clubs across 7 different countries, including 4 of the current Big 6 Premier League sides. That's a remarkable CV, but who does it belong to? That's what we're looking for question 4. Yeah. Indeed so.
They moved it.
Yeah. Question 5, Robin. 1 more of these nightmarish questions to go. I finished as the season's top scorer in 3 different European leagues in the 2000s. Wow. Despite scoring twice, I was replaced by Luke Chadwick on my Premier League debut. I've won as many Premier League titles as Jamie Vardy, and just one of my many Premier League goals was from outside the area. Okay, so finished as the season's top scorer in 3 different European leagues in the 2000s. Despite scoring twice, I was replaced by Luke Chadwick on my Premier League debut. I've won as many Premier League titles as Jamie Vardy, and just one of my many Premier League goals was scored from outside the area. Who fits that particular bill? Wow. That looked like a nightmarish experience for you, Robin and Rafa. Robin, are you satisfied?
Well, I answered 3 out of 5. That was a rough ride.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. Did you
Tough.
answer them correctly? That's the key question.
Rafa,
Rafa, what about you?
I only answered 2 out of 5, but they were correct.
Right. Okay, all right then. Well, let's see whether they were correct. Duncan's standing by with the answers. First of all, Duncan, who was the man who made his professional debut at QPR? Peter Schmeichel was in goal when he made his Premier League debut in 2002. He played under Harry Redknapp at 3 different clubs and scored more headers than any other player in Premier League history.
Peter Crouch scored more headers than 21 of the teams to have played in the Premier League, not just of any player, which I think is more impressive somehow.
That is. Sorry, Robin.
I got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. Rafa as well.
I'm happy.
Excellent.
Can I be happy, guys, with that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, anything you want, Robin. We're delighted to have you with us. Question 2, then. Let's see what you made of this one. I made my Premier League debut as a 17-year-old on the same day that Man United won the Premier League title. I've won the Premier League 6 times. I've also captained a Champions League winning side, and I've been relegated from the Premier League. Robin, do you know who that was?
I think I put in Ferdinand, Rio Ferdinand, if I'm correct.
Check out the big brain on Robin van Persie. You are correct. Rafa?
No, I didn't get it.
Crikey. Question 3 then. Let's see how you fared on this one, Rafa Honigstein. I've played for 3 different London clubs in my career and I've won the league and FA Cup double twice. My last manager was a former teammate and I played more times for England without scoring than any other outfield player. What did you put, Rafa?
Nothing. No idea.
Right. Duncan, put him out of his misery.
It was Ashley Cole.
Wow. Ashley Cole.
Extraordinary.
Of course.
Ashley Cole.
I should have known that. Yeah.
Well,
okay.
Question 4.
Top 6?
No, that's the next question. Let's find out about that one. Yes, and it goes a little bit like this. I won the Premier League as a teenager. I've played in an FA Cup final in 3 different decades. My career has spanned 12 clubs across 7 different countries, including 4 of the current Big 6 Premier League sides. I am, Duncan.
Well, if we'd said he was exactly 100 years younger than Albert Einstein, maybe Rafa might have got it, but it was Nicholas Anelka.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing your score at the end of this, Rafa. Question 5. I finished as the season's top scorer in 3 different European leagues in the 2000s. Despite scoring twice, I was replaced by Luke Chadwick on my Premier League debut. I've won as many Premier League titles as Jamie Vardy, and just one of my many Premier League goals was from outside the area. Robin, who would that be? Do you know who that was?
Van der Man, Ruud van Nistelrooy.
It was. Former teammate of yours, of course. Excellent. Yep. All right, then. While we're waiting for your scores to churn out on the screen in front of us, Duncan, how are our 2 quiz leaders faring?
Well, first of all, hats off to the 25 people that got 5 out of 5 in that round. I think it was a pretty tricky one. But as it stands, overall, the same people, Sam and Return of the Jedi, or Gedai, spelled it with a G, not canon, they're both leading on 23 as it stands.
Remarkable. 23 is the score to beat. Rafa and Robin, very shortly, we might be seeing what... No, look, they're the numbers. Robin with a 1-point lead. Only halfway, though, so, big second half from Rafa could still see.
He played with most of these people, so of course he knows.
Yes. Yes. And you write about them for a living, so, But anyway, let's move on to the video round, which is my favorite round, because we're going to be showing you action on some of this next set of questions. All you have to do is watch the footage and then answer the question that follows, and you're going to have 30 seconds for each one of these questions, and they're all about the Champions League, round 4. All right, look, this is Porto. They've just won the 2004 Champions League final, beating Monaco 3-0. Jose Mourinho's first triumph in the competition, but who was the man of the match there? Who was the man of the match? There we were in Gelsenkirchen, the Arena Al Schalke, and Porto beating Monaco 3-0. 2004, who was the man of the match? Was Mourinho threw his medal into the crowd and disappeared, and a week later he was signing on for Chelsea. What a night that was for the special one. And for a special player, but which one was it who won man of the match? On to question 2. No video for this one, sadly. Just have to look at me as I ask you. There have been 9 players to score a hat-trick on their Champions League debut, but only one Englishman has managed that. Who was he? 9 players have scored a hat-trick on their Champions League debut. Who's the only English footballer to manage that? 8 Englishmen, by the way, have Champions League hat-tricks, but only one was on that player's debut. We want to know who did that. Okay, on to question 3 then. Oh, Gareth Bale. Well, that stings if you're a Liverpool fan, but I think you have to appreciate the sheer majesty of that strike. One of the all-time greatest Champions League goals, one of the all-time greatest Champions League final goals, without doubt. Who put the assist in for it, though? Who put the assist in for Gareth Bale's overhead kick goal in the 2018 Champions League final? Real Madrid against Liverpool. In Kiev, of course, 2018, the Champions League final. Real Madrid beating Liverpool 3-1. Gareth Bale getting a brace, actually. It was the first of the 2, which is fascinating, but not relevant to the answer, because all we want to know is who put in the assist. Question 4. Against which side did Liverpool win 8-0 in the 2007-2008 Champions League, which at the time was a record in the competition? Who was that 8-0 win against? Goal scorers that night were Peter Crouch, Benayoun, Ryan Babel got a brace, and Steven Gerrard was on the score sheet as well. As Liverpool beat Juve's old record, which was 7-0. That was the previous biggest win in the Champions League. But who did Liverpool get an 8-0 against? And on to the final question for our video round. Hey, we just mentioned Stevie G. There he is. It's 2005. Liverpool have pulled off the most improbable of European triumphs, beating Milan on penalties in Istanbul. Oh, penalties, that's right. But who missed the decisive one for Milan in that 2005 Champions League final? Istanbul, the incredible comeback from Liverpool. 3-0 down at half-time. Take it to 3-3. It goes to extra time and penalties. And by that point, Milan are gone. Who misses for the Rossoneri the decisive penalty? Remember it, don't you? Good. Excellent. All right then. Robin, how are you feeling? We had less noises for you in that round. 5 out of 5. Crikey. Rafa?
I think I've got 3 out of 5.
Okay. All right. Okay, let's see if Robin did get the perfect score then with the answers to the video round. First of all, who was man of the match in the 2004 Champions League final, Duncan?
The man I like to know is someone who played 5 more minutes in the Premier League than Adrian Littlejohn, a.k.a. Deco.
Right. If only you'd put that as your question. Magnificent. Did you get that then, Robin?
Yes.
What? 1 for 1? You're both 1 for 1. Excellent. Okay, question 2. 9 players have scored a hat-trick on their Champions League debut, but only one Englishman. Who was he?
10% of his Champions League goals in his first game, it was Wayne Rooney.
Remarkable. Robin? Still?
Yeah. Got it. Yeah.
Rafa? Okay, good. Yep. Question 3 then. Who provided the assist for that incredible overhead kick from Gareth Bale?
That was Marcelo.
Still?
Yeah, still
Rafa?
100%.
Wow. And Persie. Okay, and who did Liverpool get that 8-0 in the 2007-2008 Champions League campaign against?
That was Besiktas.
Close. I had that.
Who did you have, Robin?
Galatasaray.
Oh, right. Oh, that's so close. Oh, that's got to sting. Oh, well. Never mind. Let's see question 5 then. Who missed the decisive penalty in the 2005 Champions League final?
That was Andrei Shevchenko.
Yes, it was. Chevy.
Got it.
Robin, you got that one, have you? Yeah. So 4 out of 5. That's respectable. Mm-hmm. And Rafa, just a 2 for you.
3.
Oh, you did get 3. Okay. But look at that. Robin's extended his now 16 points against 14. How does that rate against our other quizzes around the world, really? Duncan.
Well, I don't want to take anything away from Robin's achievement in that round, but it was, I think, statistically was the easiest round. Over 100 people got over, got 5 out of 5.
Don't
Rafa's still on. Well, still decent. I'm saying it's decent. The ball was there and you knocked it in, so that's fine. Rafa's still sticking with his 50% ratio with 14, and Sam and Return of the Jedi / Gedi on 28, 2 clear of everyone else. So. Those 2 are favourites as it stands, but we'll see.
Only 2 more rounds to go. The scary thing is that Robin van Persie is a diesel, which means he's only going to get better and better. We've only got 6 rounds, though, so I'm not sure if we're really going to get to his peak before the quiz ends. But yeah, but we're having fun anyway. All right, well, if you guys are ready, we'll move on to round 5, which is the missing link round. I'm going to give you 4 names and what connects them, and then we need you to come up with the missing name. You can have 40 seconds of thinking time for each question. And once again, make sure you take care with your spelling. If you're ready, round 5 starts now. Okay, the 5 midfielders to score 100 or more Premier League goals. Matt Letizia, Paul Scholes, a missing person, Steven Gerrard, and Frank Lampard. Who is the missing man who has also scored 100 or more Premier League goals? 28 players, of course, are part of the Premier League 100 club, and that man there, Robin van Persie, is one of them. Alan Shearer was the first player to make it to 100 Premier League goals. Said that 28 players have made it to the 100 club. Jamie Vardy's on the fringes, he's on the verge of it. He's got 99. But only 5 midfielders have hit treble figures. And we've given you Letizia, Scholes, and Gerrard and Lampard. Who's the other one? All right, on to question 2 then. The 5 teams we're looking for here, beginning with the letter C, to have played in the Premier League. Now, 4 of them are Chelsea, Crystal Palace, Coventry City, and Cardiff City. Which is the other team whose name begins with the letter C that has played in the Premier League? Chelsea, of course, they're in a Premier League ever present. Palace has spent 11 seasons in the Premier League across 5 different spells. Coventry were a founder member and spent 9 years in the Premier League before getting relegated. Whilst Cardiff spent 2 years, 2 very eventful and happy years in the Premier League between 2017 and 2019. So, 1 team missing from that set of 5 teams. On to question 3. 5 English managers to have taken charge of at least 5 Premier League clubs. So, we're giving you Harry Redknapp, Roy Hodgson, Sam Allardyce, and Steve Price. But who is missing? Robin, don't shout out the answer if you know it. So 5 English managers to have taken charge of 5 or more Premier League clubs. Harry Redknapp, Roy Hodgson, Sam Allardyce, Steve Bruce, and who? There's one other manager who's also achieved that beyond the 5 English guys that we're looking at, and that's Welshman Mark Hughes. The man with the most different clubs is Big Sam Allardyce. He's had 7. 5 Manchester United players, this is question 4, have won the Premier League Golden Boot. Dwight Yorke is one of them. Ruud van Nistelrooy is another. Cristiano Ronaldo is the 3rd, and Dimitar Berbatov is also in the select grouping. Who is the missing man? Who is the other Manchester United player that has won the Premier League Golden Boot? Dwight Yorke winning it in 98-99, Nistelrooy in 2002-03, Cristiano Ronaldo in 7-8, and Dimitar Berbatov in 10-11. And in each of those cases, Man United also won the Premier League title that year. Who's the missing man, though? Who's the other Man United player to win the Premier League Golden Boot? On to question 5. We're looking here for the 5th Premier League team to be relegated from the competition on 4 different occasions. So, it's happened to Crystal Palace, it's happened to Middlesbrough, it's happened to Norwich City, and, as we were talking about before, it's happened to West Bromwich. But which is the other Premier League side that's been relegated from the competition 4 times? Plenty of names to choose from. 49 different clubs have played in the Premier League. 6 have been ever present, while the further 2 have never been relegated, meaning that there are 41 different clubs that have been relegated. But of those 41, only 5 have suffered relegation 4 times from the Premier League. Which is the one that we haven't given you there? Crikey. Rafa, you're looking harrowed, I have to say.
Not good. Not good at all.
Not good at all. All right. I don't think sitting in front of a pizza oven for your quiz was necessarily the right tactic. Maybe next time, something to fine tune. You're finding your picture of Maradona inspirational there, though, Robin van Persie.
Yeah, well, like I said before, in this round, again, I was a diesel because I didn't have an answer for the first 2 questions, if I'm correct, 2, 3.
Okay.
But I got, if I may say, 2 out of 5. So.
All right, well, let's see. Let's give you those answers that you were missing for the first 2 questions. Rafa, did you get either of these, the first 2?
What was the first one with the C, wasn't it?
No, the first one was the missing midfielder who scored 100 or more Premier League goals. We gave you Letitia, Scholes, Gerrard, and Frank Lampard. Duncan, who was missing?
A man who's won as many league titles as Arsenal, Ryan Giggs.
Wow, and Robin, you didn't get that one.
No, I didn't. Yeah, but Giggs,
former teammate, your former manager as well.
Not a midfielder. Giggs, in his first 15 years, he was a winger.
I mean, you've got total football, but we class, wingers as midfielders, really. So.
No, a left winger is not a midfielder, in my opinion. Do I get a joker or something? Or do I get an extra point for this? Because I have a point here.
Right. Yeah, no, I think we'll send you.
It was about 35.
We'll send you twice the amount of prize money we were going to send you before. I think that's only fair in the circumstances. Okay, let's move on to question 2. Here are the 5 teams beginning with the letter C to have played in the Premier League. Which was the missing one?
I remember Robin scoring a very good goal at this club in the Premier League, Charlton Athletic.
Robin, you didn't get this. You remember that goal?
No,
though,
I didn't. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. It's an insane goal. If you don't remember it, go and check it. Not you, but you do. But I mean, go and check it out. It's one of the all-time greats. But anyway, let's move on to question 3. You're both 0 for 2 so far. So question 3, let's see if things improve. 5 English managers who have taken charge of 5 or more different Premier League clubs. Did you guys get this?
Yes.
I did, I think. Alan Pardew.
Yeah.
Rafa? Yeah. King Alan.
Yeah.
All right then.
It did help.
Excellent. And that's right, isn't it, Duncan?
Name, I must say.
That's true. That's true. Sorry, what was that, Robin?
No, I just mentioned his last club, ADO Den Haag. So maybe that's why I helped you a little bit.
Of course. All right then. 5 Man United players who have won the Premier League Golden Boot. Dwight York, Ruud van Nistelrooy, Cristiano Ronaldo, Dimitar Berbatov, and who else, Robin?
The other Van.
The other Van. Yeah. Van the man. Yeah, isn't it?
Van the man is Van Nistelrooy. I'm the other Van.
All right then. The other Van. Okay. Fantastic. Rafa, did you get that? Say yes, because it'll be quite awkward otherwise.
I did, of course.
All right. Good. Excellent. Well done. All right. And question 5. The 5 Premier League teams to be relegated from the competition on 4 different occasions. Crystal Palace, Middlesbrough, Norwich City, West Brom, and Duncan?
Netflix own team, Sunderland themselves.
Sunderland.
Right. Yeah. That's right.
I got it wrong.
Sunderland. Okay. While we wait to see your scores compute, How are our two leaders, Return of the Jedi and his traveling companion, do?
They're still 2 points ahead, but I think what's noticeable is they're taking a lot longer to answer the question. So they are. I think the pressure is really kicking in, and it's terror essentially. But they're doing well. Still, they're on 33.
It's not easy to Google at the same time, you know.
They're multitasking.
Outrageous blurs.
Well, we do allow a little bit more time for those questions where you have to write the name in, of course. So it's only wise for them not to rush in and maybe misspell a first name or something like that, which happened last week. And so, yeah, absolutely perfect. Right, I think we're on to then the final round with only 1 point. Rafa, you pulled it back. Oh, my word. This couldn't be tenser as we head into the denouement, the climax of the beautiful quiz. Just 1 point. Guys, I can't emphasize this enough. Every answer that you make could be the one that wins or loses this battle tonight between the pair of you. So focus. This is it. This is where it gets real.
Right.
The focus is on Premier League in round 6. We're going to give you 10 questions about Premier League record breakers. You're going to have 30 seconds to answer each one. And here comes round 6. Okay, question 1. Which player has made the most Premier League appearances? Remember, it is a free type. This one you have to write the names in yourself. We're looking for the player who has made the most Premier League appearances. A hardy perennial of the Premier League for many, many seasons. Who is the player, though, who has collected the most appearances? Perhaps it's a goalkeeper. Could it be an outfield player? On to question 2 then. Which player currently at Liverpool is the youngest ever to play in the Premier League? Who's the youngest player ever to set foot on the Premier League, in the Premier League? He's currently at Liverpool, and he set a record for being the youngest player ever to take part in a Premier League game. Who is he? Oh dear, there are all sorts of. We've got a cross line from somewhere there. On to question 3 anyway. True or false? Manchester City hold the Premier League records for both the most and the fewest home goals in a single season. Is that true or is it false? Man City with the most Premier League goals, that kind of, you can believe that. But do they also hold the record for the fewest home goals in a single season? So just to read that question again. Is it true or false that Manchester City hold the Premier League record for both the most home goals in a single season and also the fewest home goals in a single season? Obviously not the same season. True or false? On to question 4. Manchester City beat Southampton 1-0 on the final day of the 2017-2018 season to bring up a record 100 points. Who was it, though, who scored the 90th minute winner that day? So talking about Manchester City scoring loads of goals, they beat Southampton 1-0 on the final day of the 2017-2018 season to bring up a record 100 points. Who scored the 90th minute winner? Question 5. Which club has the record for the largest away win in Premier League history? Wasn't long ago. Surely remember this. It feels like long ago now because etc. and so on, but wasn't that long ago that a club set a new Premier League record for the largest away win. Who was it?
Can I go back? No.
I'm afraid not, Robin. As I mentioned at the start, once you put in an answer, you've put in an answer. Question 6. Who are the only side to score in every single game in a Premier League season? An entire campaign in the Premier League without once blanking. Who is the only club that has ever managed that singular feat? To score in every single game of the season from the first match day to the last. Which club did that? Question 7. This one's about Chelsea. They held the record for the longest unbeaten home run in the Premier League. Who was their manager, though, when that run finally came to an end? Chelsea's home run, their record at Stamford Bridge, was the stuff of legend. For years, nobody could go there and come away with 3 points. But one day it all came to an end. Who was the man in charge? Who was sitting in the dugout when that long, glorious home run finally came to an end? Which manager was in charge of Chelsea? Question 8 then. In a 38-game season, which player holds the record for most goals in a single Premier League campaign? So talking about a 38-game season, after we went down to 20 teams in the league, which player holds the record for most goals in a single Premier League campaign? All right, Rafa.
I just had to switch off the light.
Okay then. Question 9. Who is the only player to register 20 assists in a single Premier League season? Only one player has managed 20 assists in a Premier League season. You often get somebody who looks like they're going to break this record. They start off the campaign with a flurry of assists, but they never quite get that. Only one man has ever managed 20 assists in a Premier League season. What's his name?
Not me.
I can't reveal that, Robin, at this point. But if you're willing to confirm that, no, it's not you. Okay, on to the final question then tonight. Alan Shearer is the highest goal scorer in Premier League history. But how many goals did he score in total? How many Premier League goals did the Premier League's top goal scorer ever, Alan Shearer, amass in his long, storied and glorious career in the competition? Alan Shearer, how many Premier League goals? And that's it. That's the final question of this beautiful quiz. Rafa, did turning out the light bring any illumination?
I think the lights have gone off here. Total disaster.
Dear. Crikey. All right, Robin, what about you?
I have mixed feelings about this last round.
I'm sure you do. Okay. Well, let's see if you should be happy or sad after that one.
No.
Premier League record breakers.
It hurts. Sorry.
What? What's going on there?
It hurts. Because I'm just seeing my score now.
Oh, no way. Okay, well, we'll see that very shortly. While we're waiting for that to flash up, Duncan, give us the answers. First of all, which player has made the most Premier League appearances?
This is a man born in Hastings who won his only Premier League title in the only season when there were 1066 goals, which is a nice touch. It's Gareth Barry.
Oh, no.
That's probably my favourite stat of the entire evening. Question 2, which player currently at Liverpool is the youngest ever to play in the Premier League?
Well, his teammate, James Milner, has been assisting goals since he was 2. It's Harvey Elliott.
Crikey. All right. Robin and Rafa, let's see what you made of this one. Manchester
I
City.
knew the answer, just too slow.
Okay. Sorry about that, Raf. Question 3, true or false? Man City, do they hold the Premier League record for most home goals in a single season, but also fewest home goals in a single season?
I said
I was asking you, actually. You think
it's
true,
false.
Rafa? It is false.
It's false,
It is
but
false.
I said true.
Oh,
2.
why? Why would you do that, Rafa? Okay, question 4. Manchester City beat Southampton 1-0 on the final day of the 2017-18 season to bring up a 100-point record. Who got the 90th minute winner, Duncan?
Gabriel Jesus.
He did.
Jesus.
Okay. Yeah. You're probably just saying the player's name, or maybe it's just a... Yeah. Okay, question 5. Which club has the record for the largest away win in the Premier League's history? This was recently, down at St Mary's.
It was recent. It was Leicester City.
Of course.
I got one. You didn't get that one, guys?
No.
Wow.
I got the home team.
Okay.
Yeah, Robin.
Excellent. Okay. Question 6. Who are the only side to score in every single game in a Premier League season? Robin, did you get this one? Did you?
Man City?
No, it was Arsenal. Arsenal were the only side to score in every single game in Premier League history. Duncan, what season was that?
That was in 2001-02. Pretty impressive.
All right,
really.
then. Oh, yeah. I mean, no question. All right. Question 7, then. I wonder if you guys got this. Chelsea hold the record for the longest unbeaten run. When it finally came to an end, who was the manager? On whose watch did that record come to an end? Rafa, do you know?
I think it was Scolari.
And Robin, what do you think?
I went Mourinho, but that he put it in, I was like, nah, I think it's wrong. So
no, you can
I
see
was
there,
also
it's
wrong.
Big Phil. Oh,
yeah.
why?
I said because I put in Avram Grant.
Okay. All right then. Question 8. I'm not sure if you got the whole dynamic of you put in answers
It's
that
just-
you think are right in the quiz.
Like the diesel, the answer just come later, unfortunately, to me after the round.
Right. Okay. All right then. Question 8. In a 38-game season, which player holds the record for most goals in a single Premier League campaign? Do you know this one, Robin?
Mohamed Salah.
Oh, you do now. Okay. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Duncan. You are here to give the answers. So fair enough. Yeah. Looking at your faces, doesn't seem like no. Okay. Question 9. Who is the only player to register 20 assists in a single Premier League season?
Thierry Henry.
It was correct.
It
yeah,
was. Yeah.
in 2002-03.
Magnificent. And question 10, finally then. Alan Shearer, how many goals did he score in the Premier League? Rafa, what did you put?
I put 163.
Just ever so slightly out. Robin, what did you think?
279.
Yeah, closer. The answer is, Duncan?
260.
So do I get a point then?
260.
I got one
No.
number
No,
right.
clearly not. Points we tend to reserve for people who
got
put
the
the right
6.
answer in. Yeah. I don't think a point would do either of you much good at this point. I think you'd be needing kind of tens of them. Let's just see though who's on top then at the end of round 6.
Of course.
Who is between the two of you, Robin, you extended your lead.
I won the big derby. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's very impressive. Well done, Robin. Well done. And commiserations, Rafa, but a brave effort. Neither of you did particularly well, am I right in saying, Duncan, compared to other people on the leaderboard? Is that fair?
That is fair-ish, but I think, as usual, they say in the beautiful quiz that this round is the hardest in the game, and they're right. Only 2 people got 10 out of 10 in this round, which so shout out to them, MT 1989 and the Cranberry. So fair play. And then the battle for overall win was nip and tuck because Sam went ahead at one point, but then sort of stumbled at the end. So Return of the Jedi wins with 41 points. This is a really good score. All Jedi. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Let us know.
Brilliant. Okay. Well done, Return of the Jedi then. Well done to everyone who took part. And many thanks, Robin, and to you, Rafa, for being with us throughout what was clearly a grueling evening.
I think it's nice to send my shirt, match one shirt, to the winner, Return of the Jedi, as a gift because he did so well, 41 points. So if he can send his address, then I will send the match one shirt of myself to him. I think that's a nice gesture. He did well.
Wow, Robin, that's so sweet of you. Thank you very much indeed. And thank goodness you won and not Rafa. Otherwise,
the one who finished last will get my shirt.
as long as it's your shirt, Rafa, this time. Yeah. Okay. Listen, guys, thank you so much for being with us. It was brilliant. Robin, what are you going to be? What are you going to be up to in Amsterdam next?
No, I live in Rotterdam, so waiting and doing loads of sports. On distance, of course, but in Holland it's a bit more flexible than in most other countries. So we are able to to move around and to get your sessions in running. And I'm playing loads of football just with my son lately, which is all back to basics. But it's in a way, if you look at the positive side of things, it is sort of very special time as well to spend so much time with your family, with my kids and my wife. And so in that way I try to look at the positives and just be patient, and hopefully everyone stays safe and we can go back to as normal as possible anytime soon.
Absolutely, Robin. All right, well, listen, best of luck in the meantime. Anytime you want to come and join us on the quiz, then do let us know. It was a delight having you with us. Rafa, I'll see you on Saturday for our big Bundesliga exciting double-header of live matches building up to the Klassiker next Tuesday, 2:00. That'll be kicking off. So make sure you join us, me, Rafa, and the looming head of Owen Hargreaves. And Return of the Jedi, if you're still watching, make sure you get in touch with us, and then we can furnish you with that. You think you need to send us a screen grab? I'm hearing of probably your winning page or something. But you need to get in touch. The details of how I'm not entirely sure of, but I think that it'll all become clear once we get off this call. But send a screen grab in to the website. Okay. Everybody else, thanks for taking part. We will have another beautiful quiz, we think, next Thursday night. So if you'd fancy joining us again for that, we'd be delighted. For now, though, from all of us here, it's many thanks to taking part and congratulations to all, and we'll see you next week.